Hello, fellow people of the internet. Today I have another video from Amy. You guys remember her channel AH? She took a little hiatus, but she started up her channel again and she's been uploading a lot of really cool content. So I just wanted to mirror upload this video. It's about the Georgia Guidestones and the depopulation agenda. Yeah, it's kind of spooky. It's very awakening. So take a look and I'll put Amy's channel below. Subscribe to her and I'll see you back here with more videos soon.
It is August 2020 and the world is insane. Masks are now a fashion statement. Joe Biden just announced Kamala Harris as his VP pick. The Midwest just experienced a Category 2 hurricane. Yes, you heard me, the Midwest. That would be like Florida having a blizzard. Over 1 million people were without power. Catastrophic damages to homes and yards. Trees and power lines were down everywhere. There are still thousands of homes without power a week later. California is now experiencing fire tornadoes. Riots are still going on in major cities. Governors are still mandating masks. And my Illinois governor just launched a $5 million campaign for the slave mask. The coronavirus is still alive and spreading, even though 640 European doctors held a conference to address the world that COVID was manufactured and fake. And after going through all the ways COVID can be spread, we now have headlines like this. And most people with a brain have come to the same consensus. We all just want this to end. And we can discuss the unfairness of everything going on right now in the world, because our world is dominated by confusion, weird stories, and fear. But all of this craziness just leads me back to one topic: human depopulation. In my mind, this is what it's all about. And one story everyone seems to have forgotten about is the story about the Georgia Guidestones. The Georgia Guidestones are located in Elbert County, Georgia. They are 5 massive 16 feet slabs of granite, weighing more than 20 tons apiece. They are in the formation of a star, and a 25,000-pound capstone sits on top of them. The Georgia Guidestones have been a mystery because no one knows who commissioned the monolith or why. The only clues to its origin can be found on a nearby plaque that sits on the ground. The plaque has dimensions and explains a series of notches and holes that correspond to the movement of the sun and stars. The guides themselves are carved into the granite. So how did this monolith get here, and why? In June of 1979, a man using the pseudonym R.C. Christian approached the Elberton Granite Finishing Company on behalf of a small group of loyal Americans. Christian explained that the stones would function as a compass, calendar, clock, and would need to survive any cataclysmic event. Joe Fenley of Elberton Granite thought this man was a nut and quoted him extremely high, thinking he would walk away. But Christian accepted the offer. When arranging payment, Christian explained that the guides had been written and planned for over 20 years, and that the group intended to remain anonymous. Wayne Mullinex sold the 5-acre property where the Guidestones sit. Mullinex and his children were given lifetime rights to the site. With the purchase of the land, R.C. Christian said to Mullinex, "You will never see me again." While the monolith was being created, Fenley's family and friends started to question why he was doing the devil's work. Charlie Clamp, the sandblaster, assigned to inscribing the Guidestones, said while he was working on the monolith, heard strange music and disjointed voices. There have also been theories that RC stands for Rosicrucian. The unveiling of the Guidestones was held on March 22, 1980, by Congressman Doug Barnard. There were about 400 people in attendance. As more and more tourists came to see the giant stone, it sent shivers up the spines of many people who knew the Book of Revelation and what the accomplishments of the Antichrist were, the New World Order. What's even stranger is that 1 month after the Guidestones went up, the AIDS pandemic exploded. And who was the crisis leader of the AIDS pandemic? Anthony Fauci. CNN was also launched in 1980 by Ted Turner. Nani Batchelder, a local Georgia psychic, said that the true purpose of the Guidestones would be revealed in 30 years, and that the top of the Guidestones formed an X, making it a perfect landing site, whatever that meant. By the 90s, everyone had forgotten about the Guidestones and the novelty wore off. In 1993, Yoko Ono wrote a song called Georgia Stone, in which she chanted, "Be not a cancer on earth, leave room for nature." And this sparked more curiosity among Americans. In the 2000s, Roseanne Barr tried comedy bits to get people thinking about the Guidestones again, but no one seemed to care. Wyatt Martin was the president of Granite City Bank in Georgia and met R.C. Christian face-to-face to discuss the financing of the monolith in 1979. When Christian told Martin about the monolith, he immediately thought he was a kook and wouldn't go through with the transaction unless Christian revealed his real name. Christian revealed his real name with the condition that Wyatt Martin signs a confidentiality agreement to never tell a soul who he is or who he is affiliated with. Martin said that Christian was obsessed with secrecy and never sent money to the bank from the same place twice. Martin also said over the years they became pen pals, and he received his last letter from R.C. Christian right before the 9/11 attack. Martin was interviewed in 2009 and said that he promised to destroy all documented communication with R.C. Christian, but hasn't done it yet. He said everything about the Guidestones is inside an IBM computer that he bought in 1983. People have wondered for decades who R.C. Christian could be. Evidence points me to Ted Turner. Ted Turner grew up in Georgia and came into money when he took over his father's advertising company shortly after his father committed suicide in 1963. He started CNN in 1980, which is headquartered in Atlanta, just less than 2 hours away from the Georgia Guidestones. There is ancestral evidence that he is a member of the Guggenheim family, which is all related to the Rothschilds. Ted Turner donated $1 billion to the UN and has poured millions of dollars into depopulation projects. His goals are to lower the population to 2 billion. Did you know that Ted Turner himself refers to CNN as the cartoon news network? At CNN's launch, Ted Turner said, "We won't be signing off until the world ends. CNN will be on, and we will cover the end of the world live, and that will be our last event. And when the end of the world comes, we will play Nearer My God to Thee before we sign off." It is bizarre, but this song was actually playing as the Titanic was sinking. I don't know about you, but I think we are looking at R.C. Christian. The 10 guidelines on the stones are written in English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. They are listed out like the 10 Commandments. This is what they are. Number 1, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. 2, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. 3, unite humanity with a living new language. 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. 8, balance personal rights with social duties. 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. 10, be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature. Silicon Valley executives and billionaires subscribe to Burning Man's radical self-reliance ethos and have already been preparing for worst-case global scenarios. Gary Lynch, the general manager of Texas-based Rising S Company, says his sales for their underground high-end bunkers have increased 300% since the 2016 election of Donald Trump. These bunkers feature natural gardens and artificial sunlight. And as I was viewing these images of these underground bunkers, it dawned on me, what if our entire existence is actually underground?
What's possible? Tell me what's
it's
possible to do.
That in 15 or 20 years we can completely redo it. If we have to mobilize, this is how important it is, and how important that we do it quickly. We have to mobilize the same way we did when we entered World War II in 1941. We have to fully mobilize everything we have and put it into changing the energy system over. And not just here in the United States, but all over the world. It's going to be the biggest business project in the history of the world. Fortunes, billions of dollars are going to be made. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to be employed. We're going to have clean air. We're going to have so many benefits from it. It's not going to cost us anything. Once we get going with it, it's not going to cost us anything. Only the people that don't understand it think it's going to. Not doing it will be catastrophic. We'll have 8 degrees. We'll be 8 degrees hotter in 30 or 40 years, and basically none of the crops will grow. Most of the people will have died, and the rest of us will be cannibals. Civilization will have broken down. What the few people who are left will be living in a failed state like Somalia or Sudan. And living conditions will be intolerable. The droughts will be so bad there'll be no more corn growing. Not doing it is suicide. Just like dropping bombs on each other, nuclear weapons is suicide. So we've got to stop doing the two suicidal things, which are hanging on to our nuclear weapons
and global
and then after that we've got to stabilize the population. When I was born, there were
so what's wrong with the population? I mean,
with too many people. That's why we have global warming. We have global warming because too many people are using too much stuff. But if there were less people, they'd be using less stuff. If we don't get global warming and the nuclear weapons straightened out, we don't have to worry about human rights. The humans will all be gone. You know.
Okay. Do you think we'll do it? I mean, are you optimistic in the end that that the world will come to its senses?
On behalf of my grandchildren and the children all over the world, I absolutely think we got to do it. But I have a way of explaining it very simply. I say the human situation I liken to a baseball game. It's in the 7th inning, and we're down by 1 run. So we're backs to the wall.
Right.
What we have to do, though, in the next 2 innings, the game's not over. It's still winnable. But what we've got to do is hold them right where they are with our best pitcher.
Right.
And we've got to get a couple runs on the board.
Get a man on base.
And then get him in.
Get him in.
I will leave you with this to do your own critical thinking. Until then, stay safe out there and don't stop questioning the world around you.
I hope that awakened you a little more in this path of finding ourselves, being self-realized. So yeah, subscribe to me, subscribe to Amy, and we'll see you guys next time.